you need him to intro you guys onto stage. He has a good rate. His rate's usually pretty decent, but he might be able to slash that a little bit.
I would love that.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
What's half of free?
What is it?
If you could announce all our credit scores.
There you go.
Man, I'll tell you, it's, Like a Villain is so good on the new record, man. It's
Thank you.
Such a great song. We on our other show, The Power Hour, where we play videos and do video content. It's been crushing on there with your fans, which is really cool.
I think you guys just have such a unique sound and so like forward thinking of like because you touch on different genres, but you hold it yourself, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Especially with like, I feel like in 2022, everyone goes, all right, who put out? Who was that really heavy band that put out? He did like the whatever the fuck he was doing.
What?
Everyone knows
Snoring?
No, he was doing like the snorting vocals.
Lorna Shore.
Lorna Shore.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone put out. Everyone just went.
rocked the world.
Went because it was. They did a great job, but then when something like that happens, someone just goes, "All right, well now we're Lorna Shore," or like, "Bring Me, now we're Bring Me." I feel like you guys have your own world, which I love to see because again, you're making a new breath for rock and metal, which is amazing.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I'm happy people like the record. We've kind of made it in the most genuine way that we could. We've always tried to make records and just make them the way that we want to hear the songs happen. And, it's not really a matter of if it hits with people or not. It's just if we like it and we like the process.
I love that.
And,
That's cool.
It's really cool, right?
I guess you just get lucky if other people like it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you never.
for sure.
It's like throwing spaghetti at a wall.
Yeah. Noah, tell me about growing up in. Did you actually grow up in Richmond, Virginia, or is it in the outskirts there?
I did. It's like Richmond, Bon Air. I think at one point the area code was Richmond. Now it's Chesterfield.
Yeah.
But
Tell me about what you were listening to. What was the stuff that made you want to write songs to be a musician?
I would say my first exposure to like metal music and heavy metal music was Disturbed, The Sickness.
Sick.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
insane.
Hey, that hits
Insane,
hard.
bro.
To this day, one of my
I'll tell
Bro, we
favorite
saw them
records.
last year, and when I heard like Down with, I was like,
Well, I'm not going to cut
This is
either of you off. Well, I'm going
But
to
you
cut
are.
both
Yeah,
of you
go
off. But me and Bobby did like these like DJ nights randomly. And
just
Bobby's
funny.
like,
Yeah.
hey, he's like, is it okay if I put like, because it's like more goth industrial. He's like, is it okay if I put Disturbed on?
Down
on,
with
like,
the Sickness.
And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I got this sick remix. It's like it hits hard. I was like, Bobby, no. I was like, come on. I was like, it's goth. You're talking about your Nine Inch Nails, your fucking your Witch House, like that vibes. I was so wrong. He's like, I'm gonna play it, bro. As soon as he played it, everyone started freaking the fuck out. And it was like,
That's great.
it hit so hard, and I was like,
I mean,
was it?
I can see that happening because it definitely has that thing where fans of goth and fans of industrial could love them because there are elements in
That
there.
first record felt a little industrial in my opinion.
They
Some of the
actually
songs.
their TV debut was on my show Farm Club that I used to host. You know what I mean? And they played two songs on there that night. It
now
was
you play
great.
Farmville.
Yeah, is that the game that you play? Like to play? That's great.
Hey, Paul,
So
funny.
did you start going to shows when you were a kid around the DC area or like around?
Not really, honestly. I didn't really start going to shows until I started playing in bands growing
Yeah.
up. I played guitar in a bunch of local bands growing up, and one thing led to another, and I just got more and more exposed to like the alternative space and the alternative side of like the rock world of music. And when I was around 17, I decided I wanted to get into like recording and engineering and stuff, and one thing led to another, and it kind of just started as a project in my room when I was not at work.
If you weren't in Bad Omens, what other genre or world would you be in?
I don't know. I think I would just be producing, like trying to produce and co-write full time. Like that's what I do when I'm off tour at home.
No, I mean like what style of music? If you're like, hey, I love this style of music, but I want to be a country star.
Oh, got you. I don't know.
So you're saying you
I
love
feel like
what you're
the
doing.
former
is what you're
like
saying.
metalcore frontman turned SoundCloud rapper is pretty tired at this point.
Yeah.
Or see the other direction. Some of that too.
It's
you
weird
gotta
that
be
Bobby's
really
putting
good.
out that record.
Yeah.
You got to be good. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just like dark pop type stuff. I'm a big fan of like Crosses and Help
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
I love that.
Crosses
I mean,
is
that's
sick.
probably the avenue. We've kind of explored that with this record already.
I was gonna say you guys you have a little bit of a darker sound.
Yeah.
Maybe for your next record, a little more darker.
We
you know?
keep leaning, keep going into it.
I like the darkness. You
That's
know.
cool. And you're on tour right now, right? You're out within this moment?
Yep. Yeah. We're
How's that
at this
going?
moment. It's great. It's fantastic. We've only played like 3 shows, I think, but the tour is awesome. Their crew is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's
They're the
just-
best camp, dude. The In
it's
This
so
Moment
easy
people
going.
are the best.
Yeah.
How does it feel being up against their like? I always loved going out on tour with bands that had great production because you're just like fuck, like what can we do? How can we like pinch pennies and be able to like throw stuff on stage? Like,
Yeah.
have you been inspired going out to this moment with their like because their
Oh,
stage
yeah.
production is just like
Well, we were kind of worried going into this tour because we were familiar with how elaborate their production is, and we're like, man, we're gonna have no room
You're
for,
gonna have
like,
this
for our stuff. But no, they were very like accommodating every day, and they even like put up like black backdrops to cover their stuff, so our show looks, you know, like,
that's cool.
less underwhelming compared to theirs. And
cool.
yeah, it's great. It was way not what I expected in terms of, you know, freedom on the tour, but it's been good.
Yeah,
impressive. No, I could tell you. So, who were the people? I know you mentioned Disturbed as being one of the first bands you got turned on to. But who were some of the people that you really admired when it came to songwriting structure? Because I love the way you build songs, build around it, and there's where it just all of a sudden comes out. Like perfect example with like a villain, like just how when it blows into the chorus. Is there any artists in particular that, you know, when you started producing, recording, and writing that you really admired?
When I started, yeah, that was around the time that I think it was around the time Caleb Shomo broke off and started doing Beartooth.
Yeah.
And I was also like actively following the Plot and You at the time, and I remember just kind of being like, you know, paying attention to their process and their behind the scenes process, and seeing how they were kind of taking the whole like producing and writing process into their own hands, and just realizing how attainable that is if you have just bare minimum equipment, you know, and computer software and stuff. And
it's crazy what you can do with just a couple of software, like just a small DAW, and just go to town.
I remember at the time just seeing how like that kind of played out, and I was like, that's what I wanted, because I was playing guitar in this band, and I felt like I was just a guitar player. I didn't really like have an important role in the band, so I wanted to start my own thing and like make my own music my own way, and got into recording, and yeah, it was kind of history ever since.
You just taught yourself to do everything?
Yeah, just
That's
YouTube
cool.
tutorials and stuff.
It's the best way.
Yeah,
it's the best way.
I know so many people that like paid so much money to go to like college to engineer, and that's just like
I hate
so much knowledge.
Anyway,
on YouTube.
college, keep going to college, whatever.
You might want to actually, well, and it's cool. We totally respect that. But I think what you're saying is spend the money on the equipment and then take the tutorial so you don't do the classes.
Yeah, it's
the best
like
way,
obviously if you're trying to be a heart surgeon, you should go to college.
Yeah, you
for
probably
sure.
should.
Like,
Probably shouldn't YouTube
don't learn
that.
how to YouTube that.
Anything else, life experience is
Graphic
so
design,
much better.
you know, like stuff like that, where there's so many people on YouTube giving away free knowledge. It's like practice makes perfect, you know.
And that's like the thing. It's like they always say like people in the music industry. There's people in the music industry that have never gone to shows or toured, and I was like, how did you learn this world? And they're like, well, I went to school. I went to like a marketing thing, and I was like, go on tour for like 6 months.
I want to go on tour.
You go on tour for 6 years, dude. You fucking learn.
Yeah.
You learn
You
everything.
learn.
Yeah.
No, you learn so much. But yeah, we need to send Jake on tour.
Yeah.
I want to send Jake
hiring?
on tour.
You need you need some.
He'll work for free.
You want to
I
come out
work
every
for
night and
free.
tell everyone our credit scores.
I work for free. It's cheap. I do have a couple questions, okay, from the chat. Favorite thing to do after you load into a location? Like, what do you do in your free time when you're on site? From Mel Flowers.
I get on Yelp and find like the coolest restaurant nearby that I can find. I like scope the reviews,
That's a good one.
look
I
at
love
pictures
that.
of the
I
food.
love that.
Are you a Yelp reviewer?
Sometimes, only if it's like really bad.
Yeah, I mean, only if you're inspired to be
It's
really
gotta be
pissed off.
amazing or really bad.
Because that's the thing is like it's always tough when you're like, there's only always bad reviews, and I'm like, man, no one's like, hey, this place was okay. It was all right. I enjoyed the process.
Yeah, well, that's the reviews. It's like either you
Well, it's
hate
letting
it.
you know that place is shit. Don't go.
Yeah, don't go to that.
Well, you know, a lot of times too, though, you got to watch out because sometimes people get mad at somebody who was serving there, and then all of a sudden
That's true.
they go off
Because
for no reason because they have nothing better to do with their
Nothing better to
time.
do.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But I still go to Yelp looking for good restaurants. So I mean, even though
And it's like,
kind of
what's
knowing
walking distance that's like healthy that you can eat that looks good. The pictures look good.
See, I don't trust ratings though. Because
I don't either.
If you pull up Dumb and Dumber on,
You'll find a picture of us.
well, yeah, it's like rated 50%. There's just no way.
Yeah.
Jake, there's no way.
I don't trust.
There's no way.
I don't trust other people, but I take their guidance.
Right.
I'm like, man, this place is really bad reviews. I kind of want to try it out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Last question from the chat from Satan Soup Step Kid. If you could go on tour with two bands, any bands, dead or alive, who would they be?
Oh, jeez.
That's a tough one.
Man, this is a question I haven't been asked in a long time. I would say Disturbed for sure.
Yep.
Disturbed and like The Weeknd, like as if that would ever happen.
Oh, that'd be sick, though.
That'd be good.
You guys
That
have-
would-
that's
that's
not-
Hey,
that'd
that
be
he
sick.
actually
sick
likes
as
I'm not
alternative
gonna
music
see
in a
that.
big
Yeah,
way.
you guys have a groove. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks to me.
I like it.
It's like my two favorite like artists in both those worlds.
Hey, Jake, can we make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at getting Eminem for Louder Than Life.
He can make it work. You
No,
got
like,
it.
can we get them on tour with like Disturbed?
Yeah, I'll book it.
Who's their?
I'll do
who's
the routing.
Who's
They're
the
finishing that new album right now.
Yeah.
They're
Who
working
represents
on
them? We'll put in a good word.
Yeah.
Please
We have to.
let them know.
I want to make that happen.
But no, I want to thank you so much for joining us today and spending some time with us.
Yeah, of course.
The chat really appreciates it. And we're going to be seeing you at June 4th. Now, before you go,
Can't wait.
June
I
4th is
cannot
going to
wait.
be absolutely incredible. Like
Yeah.
I am stoked on it that you guys are going to be playing it. So, chat, make sure you come in and check us all out. Bad Omens headlining at Headliners in Louisville. That is June 4th in Louisville, Kentucky. It's RSVP for free, $5 donation to a charity in Louisville. You can come hang out with us, right?
SpaceZebra.com.
SpaceZebra.com. Get them now.
SpaceZebra.com.
There it is.
There we go. All right, Noah, thank you so much.
Thanks,
And,
man.
we'll
Thanks,
see
Noah,
you
for
soon.
Thank you.
See you June 4th.
Yep.